In today's video, we're going to be unboxing the LOKLIK iCraft cutter, doing our first cut, and I'm going to be giving you my first impressions on the machine. Now, up until this point, I've been using the Silhouette Cameo 4, and it's been working pretty well. I upgraded to the Silhouette Cameo 4 Pro, and I didn't like it, like at all, to the point where I literally never use it, and I went back to the regular Silhouette 4 Cameo. Now, that in itself is a completely different story, but if you want more on that, just let me know down in the comments below. Now, before we do go ahead with the unboxing, today what we have is the LOKLIK iCraft cutter, the roll holder kit, which is very useful because I actually only use rolls. I never use cut sheets. And with that, let's go ahead and start unboxing. Okay, so I was actually trying to pull this out, but this actually lifts up. So yeah, just so you know. All right, so first things first, we have our cutting mat. Not sure what this is, but I'm pretty sure this is just a test piece so we can cut. Then we have this little envelope thing here. Which is actually going to be our instruction manual, okay? Put that to the side. Now we have the actual cutter. We're going to save this for the very last. We have our power adapter. Now this is the little holder that goes on the side that can hold your different blades and any other accessories like your weeding tool. You have what looks to be a dual tip marker. Not sure why you get a marker, but I guess I could go right there. Our USB cable and our weeding tool. Oh, and of course, the blade. Now this looks to be including two different blades. I'm not entirely sure what they're each for, but we'll figure that out in just a minute. All right, now let's do the grand reveal. And there we have it. Now, this is actually pretty small. It is a 12-inch cutter, so the media you're going to be cutting is going to be to 12 inches. But it looks really nice, actually. So let's go ahead and take this part, stick it right on the side right there. So stick it in and push it down. Make sure we remove these inserts. And the way that you insert your blade is going to be through this little mechanism right here. This is going to be the blade holder. So all you have to do is loosen it, stick your blade in there, and tighten it. Now let's quickly unbox the roll holder. All right, so far this actually looks like a pretty simple and easy to use roll holder. So we can go ahead and lift this right here. I'm assuming this is where your roll is going to go. Yeah, so you can pop it off like this. You can put your roll in here. And this is actually a cutting blade. Look at that. So it actually looks like this goes in the back. Maybe, maybe not. Okay, so me being the type of person that overthinks pretty much everything was very much overthinking this, and this does not go in the back. This actually just simply slides into the front like that. So it's very easy to put in here, and it's pretty sturdy. Now this is the blade. This is what's going to cut the vinyl once it's done cutting. So let's go ahead and put in our blade now. Now I did find out what the difference is between these two, and I'll show you exactly right now. So this one This is going to be your blade. This is going to be the deep cut blade that goes in here. And this one, this isn't a blade. This is actually just a holder. And this is going to be a holder for things like your pen. Now, I'm pretty sure there's a better way to put this in here. I'm not entirely sure how it goes, but that's going to be for another video. Oh, also the roll holder does include a second blade, just in case this one goes dull. Okay, so the cutter does come with two separate blades. These two are the exact same thing. You get two just in case one goes dull, and you have to take off this little plastic piece to really see the blade there. Now be careful because this blade is very sharp. Now inserting the blade is very simple. All you have to do is simply hit this button up here and hold it down, stick the blade in, and then let go. And it should, there you go, and it should hold in there. And now you can go ahead and stick it into your cutter or into your machine. So let's go ahead and undo this one first. Let's loosen it. Then let's stick the blade in there, push it down until it can't go any further, and lock it in. Now let's go ahead and power it on and run it for our first test. Let's go ahead and take this off really quick. Now the power is going to be on the bottom left along with the USB cable. So this is where we're going to go ahead and plug it in. And for the outlet, it is going to be the basic one with the two prongs, so you can plug this in pretty much anywhere. All right, so let's go ahead and power it on. So here we have the HTVRont Smart Material. Now this is going to be the material or the vinyl that's compatible with the roll holder. So we're just going to go ahead and stick it in here. Now just so you know the difference between this heat transfer vinyl and your regular run-of-the-mill heat transfer vinyl, like let's say Caesar, the Smart Material is going to be a little bit bigger. And the reason that it's bigger is because the Smart Material is going to be fitted in between these two little flaps over here. Then we're going to go ahead and take our vinyl and make sure that we stick it right under these two little flaps on the edges. Then once we have it aligned over here with the roller, just press the feed button. All right, so now that we have our machine set up, let's go ahead and set up the software, which is actually very easy to do. All you have to do is download it from the LOKLIK website and install it and create a completely free account. Okay, so this is the software itself. This is what you're going to see once you install it and you're signed in. And if you go to Unlock Pro, you can see that the only thing that it's going to give you is going to be $30 worth of AI designs, AI painting, the pen tool, and a few more shapes. So me personally, I never design on these softwares. I always use Inkscape. So it's a lot easier for me to do it on there and then simply just drag and drop, and that's it. So let me go ahead and adjust this a little bit. Let's ungroup this and delete the bottom one. Now let's just group everything again to make sure that nothing moves around. And this is really what it looks like. So I already have it set up for Smart Materials. If you want to do that, all you have to do is go on over to your canvas, and then under where it says page setup, you can go ahead and choose your device. In my case, I have the LOKLIK iCraft, and you can either go between the cutting mat or the Smart Material. Now here you can clearly see what the difference is between the Smart Material and anybody else's material. And it's the fact that these are actually 13 inches. So if you're able to get your heat transfer vinyl cut down to 13 inches, maybe down from a 15 inch, then you would be able to use the roller on this. Otherwise, you're most likely going to end up using the cutting mat or the Smart Materials directly from HTVRont or LOKLIK. So I already have this set up. Let me switch it back over to Smart Materials. We could leave it at 12 inches and then click on done. Now this is what I'm going to cut. Let me go ahead and resize this. I like the fact that it clearly shows you the width and the height, and it's actually decently sized. It's not like too tiny. A lot of the time, some of these softwares will make the text very small, so it's hard to see. But in this case, it's actually very good. Let's go ahead and do this pretty big. Let's do a 12 inch. So now the next thing we need to do is go up here to the make section, but we need to make sure that our image is highlighted and then click on make. Now this is showing me that my device isn't connected. So let's go ahead and connect that really fast. I don't have it connected through USB and I'm not going to. Let's just click on Bluetooth and then search. Now on the machine itself, I haven't touched anything. I just turned it on and left it. And it actually showed up fairly quickly, a lot faster than the Silhouette Cameo. So that's a pretty good plus there. All right, so that's connected, complete the connection. Now the machine actually just started moving. All right, I guess it just moved to confirm that there was connection successful. Now standard cut or print then cut. Okay, so standard cut is going to be just cutting your vinyl or your heat transfer vinyl. Print then cut is going to be printing using an inkjet printer and then, or really any other printer. So you'll be able to get these registration marks over here and then transfer it over to your cutter where it's then going to cut out your die cut stickers or whatever shape it is you want to cut. We'll cover that in a future video. So if that's something you want to see, if you want me to go deeper into the software and into this machine, then just go ahead and comment down below. Let me know. Make sure you like this video and of course, subscribe. But for now, this is not what we're going to do. Let's go back to standard cut. And here we can see that our material is loaded through the cutting mat. No, let's switch that over to smart materials. So here we're going to have to actually make this a little bit smaller because it looks like the limit is this red right here. That looks to be our border. So let's go ahead and try to edge it as much as we can. So it looks like we're going to be getting about 11 inches, 11.3 inches. Let's go down to 11. There we go. Now, this is pretty cool because it's giving us different parameters. So it's giving us the black and the green. I'm going to cut everything at once. So I guess I could just select everything. Yeah, and then it shows you what layers there are. That's pretty cool. The Silhouette Cameo software does show you some things that are a bit similar to this, but it looks a little bit more complicated on the Silhouette Studio, to be honest with you. On here, it looks very user and beginner friendly, so that's another huge plus. Now, as far as the material, let's go ahead and click on here and let's see what options there are. So it's HTVRont Smart Glitter Heat Transfer Vinyl. No cutting mat needed. Yep, that's actually exactly the one that I got. Now it's telling us to place the heat transfer vinyl on the cutting mat with the glossy side face down and the mirror image before cutting. We're not going to be doing that because we're not using the mat. We have it fed through the roll. And now our force is automatically adjusted at 8.3 and our speed at 5, passes 1. We do need to mirror this, so make sure that we check that. And then just so you know, there are a few other options. You can also score, foil, and draw. But that's for different types of projects. For this, we are going to be cutting. And yeah, it looks like we're good to go. Pretty easy to set up and pretty quick. So now let's go ahead and add to task. That's pretty cool. Now it gives you the 2 different colors as 2 separate tasks. So we can go ahead and click on start over here and it'll start doing the black. And then we could do the same thing for the green and then it'll start cutting the green sections. That's pretty cool. And it makes it really easy to be able to do multiple layers or multiple colors. I really like this so far. It's actually very, very interesting. It's very intricate. All right, so now let's go ahead and click on start. So really quick, now in theory, I would have switched it over from the silver to the green because this is the second cut. Okay, so now that that's done, I'm going to go ahead and unload it. Then I'm going to pull it through and I'm going to cut it. Clean and easy cut. Now time to weed. All right, so I just want to stop here for one quick second, and I do need to mention that this is weeding very, very nicely. All right, let's continue. All right, we still got a little bit of weeding to do, but so far that was super, super clean and super easy. All right, so I'm super impressed by how easy that was to weed, not just by the smart material itself, but how well the LOKLIK actually cut it. All right, we're almost done. Let's go ahead and press it. All right, so this smart material is a cold peel, and we're going to be pressing it at 320 degrees for 20 seconds. All right, so now let's put it somewhere cool. As always, if you want to speed up the cooling process, you can go ahead and rub it down with another shirt or a piece of cloth. And once that's ready, we can go ahead and peel. So that's the LOKLIK iCraft cutter. Now, in terms of what I have to say about it, my first impressions, I think it's a really good cutter. So the first thing that really stood out to me, well, there were actually two things that stood out to me. For one, it's the design. I like how it looks, I like how straightforward it is, and I like how simple it is. So once you close it, it's just a nice little white box. It looks very sleek, it looks very modern, and it can really fit pretty much anybody's home office or anybody's just, I guess, bigger, not home office. But for me, I think it looks really cool. I think it looks really nice. It looks very sleek. Now, the other thing that really stood out to me, the biggest thing, has to be how quiet it was. So if you know me, you know that I started off and I still use it. Well, I mean, up until now, because now I'm pretty sure I'm going to be using this one. But up until now, I've been using a Silhouette Cameo 4, and it's been doing the job very well. It's gotten me through the past 4 years, and it's never failed on me. I've had a few quirks with it, a few issues with it, but at the end of the day, it's my dedicated cutter. I upgraded to the Silhouette Cameo 4 Pro, didn't work out. I went back to the basic Silhouette Cameo 4, and again, I've loved it, but it's always so freaking loud. This one is so quiet. I was surprised at how quiet it was. Honestly, I could run it from probably the same room where my kid is sleeping. Granted, my kid is a pretty heavy sleeper, but I'm pretty sure I'd be able to cut a few things while he's sleeping in the same room. Again, my kid is a heavy sleeper. This is not going to apply to everybody. But yeah, like I just can't emphasize enough how quiet it actually was. Now, a lot of people have been asking how it compares to the Cricut cutting machine. And to be honest with you, I can't give you that answer because I've never used the Cricut cutting machine. I've never liked it. The biggest thing about the Cricut that I've never liked is the fact that the software is completely online based. And I've never been a fan of that because if you, for some reason, don't have internet, then you're stuck. Even though I believe they do have an app, but the LOKLIK iCraft cutter, it also works with an app. Not just that, but the software installs into your computer. So if you don't have internet for whatever reason, or if there's servers go down or whatever happens, you can still use your cutter. And I really like that. Now, when comparing it to the Silhouette Studio software, the LOKLIK software seems to be a lot more beginner friendly and a lot more easy to use. Not just that, but the premium features, they're not needed. With the Silhouette Cameo 4, with the Silhouette Studio, I did need to upgrade to the Pro version because the basic free version doesn't allow you to import SVGs. And I always thought that was so stupid. I never found any sense in that. Why would you not allow me to be able to import my own SVG files? So with the LOKLIK Studio software, there I am able to import them on the free version. And like I showed you earlier, the Pro version, it's not needed. It just gives you a couple of extra tools like the pen tool and some AI stuff. Again, stuff that you don't need. Now, in terms of the speed of the cutting for the machine itself. So, I mean, it's not the fastest cutter, but it's not slow either. It's pretty much, I want to say, the same as the Silhouette Cameo 4 in terms of speed. You can adjust the speed, so you're able to mess with the settings to see if you can probably speed it up a little bit. But with the default settings, it worked pretty well. In less than 2 minutes, I had my entire design cut and I was already pressing. Now let's talk really fast about the different layers on the software. I really like the fact that it gave me the option to cut the black and then gave me the option to cut the green. That makes it really easy for you to swap colors without having to do a lot of messing around on your design studio or adjusting your SVG file, your design, or whatever it is. The fact that you're able to send to cut out the entire design and then choose which color you want to start cutting next, I think is awesome. And the fact that it's super easy and accessible for you to use that feature, even better. Now, there were a couple of things that I didn't like about this cutter, and primarily the thing that I didn't like was the fact that in order to use the roll holder, you need to use the smart material. And when I looked online, the smart material only comes in glitter, silver, and gold. So you don't have smart materials for all of the different colors. So to cut regular vinyl or to cut regular heat transfer vinyl in, let's say, just black or white, you're gonna have to use the cutting mat. Now, for most projects, that's gonna be okay. It's really gonna depend on the type of business that you have and the type of prints that you do. Me personally, whenever I would do bulk orders or bigger orders with heat transfer vinyl, I would use the roll and I would just let it cut. But nowadays, I know better than to use heat transfer vinyl for big orders. I just go with something like screen print transfers. So looking at it that way, it's not really something that's gonna be an issue. It really wouldn't be an issue for me anymore. But still, it would be really nice to be able to use your basic heat transfer vinyl from like Caesar on the roll holder itself. Oh, and the last thing that I completely forgot to mention, the connecting to the PC or to your Mac or whatever. It was really easy. LOKLIK made it super easy to be able to connect. As you saw, all I had to do was search for it and connect it. On the machine itself, all I had to do was turn it on. So if you want to check out the LOKLIK cutter, you can go ahead and use my code LOKLIK60 and you'll be able to save up to $60 off of your LOKLIK cutter bundle. So make sure you take advantage of that. That coupon does expire on January 31st. So if you want to check it out and you want to save a bit of money, make sure you use the link down in the description below. That is my affiliate link. As always, if you click on it and make a purchase, I will make a small kickback from that. And again, make sure to use code LOKLIK60 to save $60 off of your bundle. So what did you think of the LOKLIK iCraft cutter? Let me know down in the comments below. I would love to hear your thoughts. Remember, I am doing a giveaway right now for a 15 by 15 heat press, a tumbler press, both of these from HTVRont, a Vivor hat press, and a roll of DTF transfers. In the next video or two, I will be announcing the official rules. So make sure you subscribe, make sure you like this video, and make sure you stay tuned. Also, to stay updated and make sure you get information as soon as it drops about this giveaway. It is going to be 4 separate giveaways. Make sure to hit that little bell notification so you don't miss out on any future updates or notifications. Huge thank you to everyone for watching, especially if you made it all the way to the end. As always, my name is Mario with Neko Prince, and I'll catch you all next time. Peace.